Here we go. For you, Professor Louis Grunwald, this first day of September 1931 has been tiring and uncomfortable. Oh, that's loud. Light mist has covered Arkham for most of the day. You held 2 uninspired undergraduate classes at Miskatonic University, and you met with the new chairman of the literature department, a giddy technocrat. You survey your desk and see that a stack of papers to grade has already formed. You're enjoying your second pipe of the evening and putting off grading papers. When the doorbell rings, to your surprise, it's a telegraphic messenger. It arrived at Kings Point Head Station not more than an hour ago, the boy says. You sign for it and slip a dime into the youngster's hand. Oh, thank you, sir. You open the envelope and scan the contents. This is on the next page. Worldwide Telegraph, the Globe in 7 minutes. Athens, Greece, 9/1/31. In jail for antiquity theft. Stop. Need help. Stop. Can you come? Stop. Urgent. Stop. See Corporal Elonius, Athens Bureau of Investigation. I know, we're just handing out dimes to random messengers. All right. This is a piece of evidence that we have. So from Athens, Greece, in jail for antiquity theft, need help. Can you come? Urgent. See Corporal Elonius, Athens Bureau of Investigation. And this is from Glire? Worldwide Telegraph makes good faith effort to receive, transmit, and or deliver all communications, but can share no responsibility for incomplete, inaccurate, stolen, misconstrued, missent, or missing communications, whether by negligence, mistake, conspiracy, error, war, or act of God. Well, remember, Satirical, we're actually from Germany, and we moved to Arkham to work as a language professor at the Miskatonic University. My goodness, you think? Imagine, dotty old Gliere in prison. You recall that he had gone to Greece to work on his book concerning primitive myths. What has he gotten himself into? Should you wire money? You recall all of the amusing discussions you've had with him, and a sudden insight lets you understand that Tibor Gliere had no close friends except for you. Should you go help him? You suppose the university will grant you leave, but do you want to go? With uncommon speed, you decide to go to Athens to help Gliere. You write him a wire and another to Ernest Holt, a wealthy New York financier and a good friend of yours. If you get into hot water, Holt will help, and so you decide to keep him posted on your progress. You give both telegrams to the waiting messenger along with the necessary funds. What to do now? You'll go to the bank first thing in the morning and get travel funds. As for transatlantic schedules, Well, the advertiser surely carries that information. As you pack, you wonder if you should check Glier's room at Mrs. Harding's boarding house. Maybe you could get a clue about Glier's activities or a hint about his arrest. Your passport is in order. Your clothes and sundries are packed. You'd best turn in. You're going on a little trip. When you awake, it is September 2nd. Go to 102. And so this is the start. All right. So it's evening time. We know that we're going to sleep. There are a few suggestions that are put forward to us. We can check Glier's room at Mrs. Harding's board house. We can go to the bank to get some money. We can go shopping. We can get a nice breakfast and ignore this for a while. Now, our character, Louis Grunwald here, doesn't know that there's a race against time. We do. And of course, we are urged to think, to process this. We have an intellectual person, someone who might otherwise be very efficient. So let's find 102. I guess that's page 102? No. How is this working? So we know September 1st is effectively over, okay? Well, yeah, GMV, we do have papers to grade. But we can presume that our job does give us the time off. Which is interesting because it's early September and classes have only just started. Oh my gosh. Now we have a heartbeat camera. Clearly, the camera's haunted. Go to 102. Well, if we go to prompt 102... Oh, all right. I guess this is it. If it is after if it's after September 8th, which it's not, if not in your Grunwald, you can rest and have a repast. Go to any Arkham location if you're go to any Arkham location. If you're not Grunwald, go to 120. So we are. So we can go to the Arkham Advertiser newspaper, the Arkham Boston and Maine Railroad Depot, Arkham First National Bank, Arkham General Store, Bee's Diner, Grunwald's Home, which we're starting at, the Harding House, open at respectable hours. The hospital is always open, or Miskatonic University, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And it is currently Wednesday, September 2nd. So, if we can presume maybe we retire early, we have our 8 hours. When would you like to wake up? Remember, it's an hour to eat. And then it takes time to visit each location. I believe it said an hour to visit any location. Well, it's a case of just, eating slowly and enjoying it, GMV. You have to enjoy it. You know what? All right, so this is what I'm thinking. If we're going to bed, we relaxed. We had our second pipe of the evening. We don't need to worry about grading the papers. If we get up early in the morning, let's say around 6, okay? If we wake up at 6, it takes an hour to eat breakfast, so that's 7. We could head to the Harding house at 8. That's a respectable hour. If people are in a boarding house, they need to they're coming home from a late night shift, or they need, they're up and getting ready to go to work for places that end at 9. I think that can work. We can, and so we can visit there. You are welcome to up here. Let me know, chat. I don't want to just dictate this. I have not read this before. I'm absolutely not claiming 100% run, and I'm not going to be coy about it. You are welcome to say, no, let's actually wait and go to the bank first, because maybe we should have some money on us otherwise, before we go to the flop house or whatever else. If you have an idea, speak up. There's not a right or wrong answer. Just let me know what's on your mind, and I'm happy that I'm running this for you all. But in the face of otherwise, if we take this window down, here's our calendar. All right, so we are going to wake up at 6. I'll put a little sunrise. We eat. I'll put a little sausage here. We eat at 7, and in fact, I could probably just get this even better here. And let's get this focused. And then we go to the Harding house. So we'll put double H's. We go to the Harding house at 8 o'clock. Mrs. Harding greets you amiably. She's uncertain whether she should show you Glier's room. To try to talk fast her, go to 23. For charm, go to 45. To use persuade, go to 67. To try a bribe, go to 89. All right. So we're at the Harding house. Mrs. Harding is unsure of what to do. Now, if we take a look at our sheet, Let's open this up. If we take a look at our sheet, we can try several ways to convince her to let us in. We can use fast talk, which is at 5% for us. We can try to charm her at 15. We can persuade her, which is 40%, or we could try to bribe her with cash, which might be that might end up being a credit rating roll. I'm not sure. GMV says persuade, so you want to test at our 40. All right. So if we're going to 40, we're going to hit 67. Her eyes are wary, but she is listening. Make a persuade roll. If successful, go to 150. If failed, go to 45. GMV, give me a percentile roll in chat. Let's see if we're able to persuade Mrs. Harding. It is September 2nd, 1931, Goblin of Gygaxanor. 78. So that is not going to be enough to persuade her. We can spend luck. Now, luck, we have 50 points of it. I would not suggest spending, let's see. That's a 78, so we would need to spend 8 to 70, 20 to 50. We'd have to spend 38 points to make this work. That is over half our luck on a persuade. Yeah, I that might not be it. So if failed, go to 45. That's just fancy talk. I know your sort. Professor Gliere specifically instructed that no one disturb his room. She slams the door. You can try sneaking in later at night by going to 90, or you can go to another Arkham location. Well, that didn't bear fruit. We are loyal to our friends. So we could try sneaking in, but we also know that we're not going to be the best at sneaky sneak. Disguise, not so much. Stealth, not that it can't happen. Another location for now? Okay. Well, we can try going to the bank. And that will take an hour. Otherwise, there's the general store, but we would need some money. There's B's Diner. We could see who's there, who's talking what. We can. I don't think we need to go to the hospital. There's Miskatonic University. There's the train depot, and there's the newspaper. I'm thinking that Arkham is going to work, especially because they're just opening. Well, we can spend it on other stuff and drop our items off at the house, GMV. Arkham First National Bank. Deposits and withdrawals are possible between 9 to 3, Monday through Friday. If you're Professor Grunwald, your account is here, and you can withdraw up to the cash amount noted on the investigator sheet. Alright, so there's not really any indication. This is just a financial transaction. We have $2,200 available to us. Now, in 1931 money, that's a lot. Rosewolf, this is Call of Cthulhu, and you're welcome to play along in this choose-your-own-adventure that I'm guiding us through. But we're already here. So how much money should we withdraw And I'm on our sheet. I'm gonna put a little bank sign at 9 to show that we're getting money. We gave the Telegram boy too much. Yeah, we're down the dime. I don't know if we need all that money. Ah, hello, Batispada. You are also welcome to sit down and listen in and be a part of our Choose Your Own Adventure. How much money should we withdraw? There's no correct answer. I mean, we could clean out our account and have 0 left in the bank. I don't know if we're suspecting that we're dying, but we are going on a trip to Greece. So there is that. We might need some money. Should we withdraw $2,000 to have and keep $200 in our account? It made mention that we can wire money to Greece, but we're not in Greece yet. Ivalon, it does say here you can withdraw up to the cash amount noted on the investigator sheet. So our cash amount was $2,200. So it says available cash 22, and so in here it's, well, I mean, there are some considerations. Maybe in a normal game of Call of Cthulhu, that would be a lot of money that wouldn't normally be available. In fact, if we take a look, I mean, here's Ernest Holt. This is a name that's been brought up. He has $35,000 available in cash. But he's also a New York City financier. This is, we're now on September 2nd, 1931. And in fact, let's do an inflation calculator. In 1931, in September of 1931 to June of 2024, $2,200. Oh, there we go. Oh, this one doesn't, maybe it doesn't go back as far as 31? I got an error. Let's try this again with another one. If in 1931 I purchased an item for $2,200, then in 2024 the same item would cost Alright, since 1931, cumulative rate of inflation is 1,963%. $2,200 in 1931 money is $45,382. I don't know. It's saying that we can take it out, Ivalon. Not that we have to, not that we have to take the whole amount out. Hi, Danger Man. Well, there you go. Yep, invest $2,000 now in 31. Someone locally actually has a Cybertruck. I see it driving around downtown now and again. It's really interesting. All right. Well, if we're here, and the only other I've only ever heard take out the cash on hand, we're going to make a withdrawal. We're going on an adventure, as we are loyal to our friends. So now from here, we can go to some other location. We can visit the newspaper. We can go back and well, it said we could try to sneak in. We have cash on hand if you want to try and bribe Mrs. Harding. There is the Arkham depot. Maybe because we're probably going to need a train ticket, right? There's the general store to buy things. B's Diner if we want to get a meal. We can go back home, or we can go to the hospital or Miskatonic University. Hi, Stormbender. Oh, maybe. We can go shopping and see. I don't know. Next up, if we're going to be traveling, we should probably go to... hi. Yep, hi. I would suggest going to the rail depot and see how much a ticket costs and purchase one. If arriving in Arkham, go to any Arkham location. If heading to Boston, trains leave at 9 a.m., noon, and 5 p.m. The trip takes an hour. You may wait for your train. Well, alright, I guess there's not an item cost for this. So if there's not an item cost for this... Well, let's, I guess, type down railroad. We now know the schedule of the trains that are leaving. 9, noon, and 5. I'll make a note. 9, noon, and 5. And the trip takes an hour. And we can wait if we need to. All right, let's go back to Arkham location. I guess we should go to the general store. This retailer accepts currency from any country. You can buy most any item. You can also buy a hand-to-hand weapon or a handgun. Then go to any location on the appropriate location table. So retail store is retail store. What are some things that we should buy? If we go over to Call of Cthulhu. That's skills. So average credit rating. Write down equipment, important items. So credit rating of average. So we're on the higher side of average for cash, but it is on the chart. We probably have so much available cash because if we're working at Miskatonic, maybe they gave us an apartment. We have a lot of stuff that's paid for by being a professor there, so we've just been able to save up money, perhaps. This is an arbitrary amount below which, for ease of play, no record keeping is required. A character can spend up to his or her spending level with no expenditure of cash. In theory, an investigator could spend an amount just below their spending level every day, but in practice it should be used only occasionally. So we can, you know, if something's $10 or less, we don't have to track it. All right, now let's see. What can we go shopping and pick up? Skill points. Let's look at items. Ooh, a tailored silk suit is $1,000. Well, it's a good thing that we have 2,200. If we want a fancy suit, that's going to be about half. Now, what might be some things? The scenario did say if it seems reasonable that we would have it, we don't have to purchase it. If we know that this is something that would play into what our character is or does, then we already have... I would be fine saying something, because we moved here from Germany. We most likely already have a... we already have... that's modern day. Whoops. I need 1920s. Clothing. All right, well, let's talk about inflation. There we go. Medical equipment, meals out, speakeasies, lodging. Well, I don't see something specifically for it here price-wise, but I'm sure that we have, we probably have some kind of a steamer trunk. And considering that we carry ourselves in kind of a, you know, a dish, we do come across as kind of disheveled. We have probably a professorial, we probably have this, a mohair suit. As well as, I don't know, we could probably just put, like, casual clothes. Like, casual dress, I guess. Biz-caz. Casual dress attire that we would pack. So I don't think we need to buy extra out of here unless we wanted to specifically get a Grecian suit. Otherwise, our suit is probably from Germany or is made here in Arkham, sold at this Miskatonic outlet. A batwing bow tie, huh? All right. So things like you know, suspenders or whatever. I don't know what else might we need. We're going to be traveling. The ticket will have accommodation, like food and whatnot. Handcuffs, police whistle, dictaphone, wire recorder. A bear trap? Train fares. So this is in our spending budget. Don't need to worry about that. International per 100. Or we could take a sea voyage. But we'll have to get to Boston first, I suppose, before we worry about that. I don't know. What would be some other things that we would have? Probably some notepads and writing utensils. Writing materials. I don't know if we have to buy something that is specific to this. Do we have a Turkish water pipe for 99 cents? An unabridged dictionary. Yeah, so we probably have some language books. Oh, you know what? We probably have a Greek dictionary on us. Yeah, so all right, so not only a steamer trunk but a briefcase. That seems, I think that's reasonable for us to have as a professor. It would probably... would we have a watch? We'd probably have a watch. A gold pocket watch? Oh, I don't know if we're that... We're not that fancy yet, I don't think. We'll just put pocket watch. Because we know that we study hieroglyphics and other things for history, I think it would be safe to say that we have writing and rubbing materials, where you put a piece of paper down and you do like a charcoal rubbing. A complete diving suit? Oh my. Of course, if we do smoke a pipe, so we have a pipe and tobacco. So what? Probably pipe, matches, tobacco. I don't know if we necessarily need a handgun, but it doesn't hurt to have maybe some sort of a kniff on us. Maybe some silk hose if our professor is feeling a little sassy in the privacy of his house. Let's see, nothing really for camping. I don't think he'd carry camping stuff. But maybe he has a knife from the old world when he would go into the forest and he used that to dig around. So let's put down... Actually, is there a place under weapon? We'll say that he has a hunting knife. I don't know what the stats on that are. We can look that up in the in the camping area. And we probably keep some sort... I saw something for aspirin. If we're traveling, maybe we have, I don't know if there's something like a first aid kit that's an all-in-one. Aspirin, Epsom salt, indigestion medicine. Laxative, nature's remedy. Medical case. I wouldn't say we have a medical case. Probably not that. But I think a simple first aid would probably be some gauze, some aspirin, and, you know, think kind of like what we have. Basic first aid kit. And we are good at looking around. We look at things, we look for clues. Probably a magnifying glass as well. Yeah, everything is legal, GMV. All right, if you all can think of other things, we can throw them on there. But I think this is a good way to equip our character to travel. Now, this is going to bring us... it's 11 a.m. It's 11 a.m. And we can... Well, we can still spend some time. We can go back to the train station, because one leaves at noon. Or we can go to B's Diner and just sit down and talk. We can... let's see, there's the newspaper. Maybe we could see what's going on at the newspaper if we want to. We can go to the... We can go to the university. We haven't been there yet. Maybe going to the university is not a bad idea. We still got to break in. Break into what? Oh, mustache wax. Oh, we do have a fantastic... You know, so maybe like first aid kit. This would also be like first aids, like a grooming kit for mustache care. So we'll say basic... grooming / first aid kit. Do we have to break in? We could probably just go back and bribe her. We have a ton of money on us. She shoot us off for now, but maybe money can talk. So if you want, we can go back there now that we have some cash. I don't think that's necessarily an evil thing. You know, we're supporting a flop house, a workhouse, of course, and Mrs. Harding might be able to use the cash. But we can break in later if you want, probably at night. I don't know, what are you all thinking? We can go to our friend's house who's been arrested and perhaps look for clues. We can go to the newspaper. We can just wait at the train station. We can go to a diner, maybe catch some rumors. We can go to the hospital and I guess see if anything's happening there. We can go to Miskatonic University, which is where we work. Maybe there's some research or things that are, you know, stuff that we can do while we're at Miskatonic. What are your thoughts, everyone? And we can go to the Harding house and perhaps we could bribe the lady to let us in. It still may not work. Grade the papers. We have some work we should do. All right, I'm not hearing any differently. We're going to go to Miskatonic University. I'm going to write that down. It's now 11 a.m. Information available by phone. The MU library is open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. All right, so we can visit the library. We can go see Dr. Martin Fenn, chairman of the history department, before or on September 8th. We can go see the dean as well. Once finished at the library, go to any Arkham location. So we can just go to the library. We can talk to the chairman of the history department. Or we can go see the dean of Miskatonic University. We should probably talk to the dean and see if we can get a reprieve. Although that might have been hinted at, we've already been able to do. We need clues from the criminal's apartment before we can start asking questions. Okay, well, do you want to try and bribe, or do you just want to wait and try and break in at night, GMV? Stormbender says the library. All right, well, while we're here, let's go to the library. For each hour at Miskatonic's library, attempt to make a successful library use or spot hidden roll. If you make the library use roll, go to 25. For the spot hidden, go to 70. You can return to Miskatonic University. All right, well then. Stormbender. Our library use is 60%, though we do have spot hidden at 45. I don't know offhand, GMV. Stormbender, type exclamation point 1D100 in chat. Stops on a 94. All right. We didn't really see anything that motivated us, or it's probably not worth spending our luck here. There was nothing that really motivated us or captured our attention, such that we Aristotle Milonis, while collecting an unreasonably tremendous treasure house of Greek art, has been reluctant to loan or even show some of the National Museum. Oh wait, is that? That was the library? Or is this something else? I don't know what that was about. Oh, but also we didn't make a successful. We didn't make a successful roll. Miskatonic. All right, well, it is now noon. Now, we had breakfast. We don't have to have a lunch, but we do need to eat dinner, or we can have lunch and skip dinner. There is a train that leaves for Boston at 5, but that's every day. And there might be clues, as GMV was talking about. So, we can, I don't know, do you want to go to a diner? Do you want to continue studying at the library, but studying for what? Do we want to go talk to the dean at Miskatonic University? Or we could talk to someone in the history department, but that seems like questions to ask. All right, well, all right, so what are we making the roll for, Stormbender? Is there something here that we're trying to do? Because otherwise, like, I flavored it like, yeah, you know, we're looking for inspiration. What are we doing in the library? We might want something to research. GMV was pointing that out. Who also is presuming that our friend is a criminal. We can go to our friend's apartment. We can go to the diner. We can go around Miskatonic more. There's not really any kind of a... there's not necessarily any kind of a sword over our heads currently. He was arrested, that's true. Though I'm concerned if just because someone's arrested, they're a criminal is... All right, well, so what are we looking for? I don't mind doing that. We can go through and try and spot things, I suppose. You know, just kind of looking around. But what are we doing there? If we're going to spend an hour in the library, why are we there, or what are we looking for? What? See, then if we only adopted that law system, man, if only we made murder illegal, that would stop all the murders in this country. But our politicians are too cowardly to call murder illegal. If only there was one day where anyone could do anything, and there was no legal repercussion. Man, that sounds like an interesting story to tell. All right. Well, I'm not hearing anything else for the library. And it is now going to be noon. Look at my paper here. GMV, as you want to look for clues, do you want to try bribing or do you want to try breaking in? Or should we go to the diner? We can also just go home. We can go to the hospital if we need to, I suppose. I don't know what for. It's an option. Something that would stand out. I suppose we can go looking. But let's go back to the Harding house. You want to try a bribe? Mrs. Harding glares and slams the door in your face. To sneak in later when everyone is sleeping, go to 90. Or you can go to any Arkham location. So there we go, GMV. It is now Mrs. Harding is a woman of morals and values. Bribing her does not... No, we don't have a gun. And if we did that, then our game is over. This isn't video game logic where as long as like the constable on patrol is like around the corner, that the AI logic means that we can get away with it. No, GMV, I'm not doing that. You can do, if you want, you can buy this book and you can do that, okay? Well, since it's 1, let's stop by the diner. I want to go to the diner. I'm not hearing anything else. Open from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can get breakfast, lunch, and dinner here. When you've had your fill, go to any Arkham location. Well, you know what? Let's get a lunch. We're doing a lot of traveling around. That way it's not a wasted trip. Mrs. Harding apparently does not accept any bribes. So we'll have to try and sneak in later. At a very late hour. Which, the Harding house is open during respectable hours. Most places close at 5, but people still eat and shop or might get home from a late day. The Harding house probably closes around 10 p.m., I would say. And people are going, people are going to bed who aren't already out doing some third shift stuff. So we might just wait the day out. See what we could do later. Otherwise, we can walk around. Or go and talk to people. So the diner is just, it's acting as a placeholder for a meal. We've had our minimum 2 for the day, so we don't have to have dinner if we don't want to. Stormbender wanted to go to the library again, so we go back to Miskatonic. There is the library, there is the chairman of the history department, or there's the dean. So grading papers was, as much as that's leftover work. Maybe we need to see the dean. Let's talk to the dean. The dean shakes his head. Out of the question, Grunwald. I already have that young dolt Perkins covering for Gliere. And now you want to leave? Not a chance, sir. Does the dean leave you no choice? To threaten to resign, go to 186. To forget the whole business and let Gliere fend for himself, go to 574. Well, as we are loyal, as that is one of our personality traits that it came up with, we are loyal to our friend. I don't think having Gliere fend for himself, especially after preparing, is an option for us. So, to threaten to resign, let's go to 186. Oh, resign? My dear fellow, I apologize. I should have recognized how serious you were. Go, save your poor Glier's hide. I know you'll do it speedily and judiciously. The university will certainly pay for your round-trip ticket. As you leave, you hear footsteps move quickly away from the door, but when you look out, the hallway is empty. We can go to 82 or any Arkham location. 82 is back at the choice? Yeah, Miskatonic University. Well, talking to the dean is getting us a free ticket to Greece, and we still have a job. But I suppose we could also then, let's talk to Dr. Martin Fenn. Why not? So we talk to the dean. It's now 3 p.m. and let's talk to someone else. His eyes narrow when he hears your news. Glier in jail? And you want to go rescue him? You'd best talk to Dean Wilcox. If you want to talk to the dean, go to 100. No, we should. We're loyal to our friend. The dean shakes his head out. Actually, no, that was the dean because we talked to the history. All right. Well then, so we already did that part. Well, all right. So we have secured a ticket. I guess we just need to go. We don't know much about Glier, though there might be evidence in his room, but Mrs. Harding is going to have none of it from us. We can wait and try and sneak in when everyone's asleep, or we can leave without information. Or we can go back to the library. Stormbender, you wanted to go to the library, I suppose, right? Because we had this. We had any Arkham location, though we are at, not Arkham location, but back at Miskatonic. We can spend some time in the library. Do you want to try a spot hidden, Stormbender? As you're calling for it, you can roll it. Our spot hidden is 45, or our library use is 60. Chat is in listening mode and very shy. All right, I will make a roll, though I would love for you all to step up. Stormbender said spot hidden, so let's roll 1d100 and see if we spot anything. Lands on a 3. Apparently we spot something because we needed a 45 or below. Go to 25 for the spot hidden, go to 70. So we're looking around here. All right. The myth of the cataclysm, or the upheaval, is one of the oldest tales and is found in nearly every culture. These imagined events occurred, according to some Nordic myths, 3,000 or 4,000 years ago. Other legends, notably those told by the Shikastra sect of Tibet, date the world-changing disaster to as recently as 850 BC from Tibor Glier, the destruction myths. Alright, so we succeeded. Apparently we found some sort of a note. Maybe we were looking our friend up. And we'll make a note that we succeeded on 70 and that we're going to 145 to see what that has to say. For each... so that just brings us back. So we know that Glier was researching... What? What are you talking about, GMV? There totally isn't anything that I should recognize, otherwise it might infiltrate my dreams. That's my waterfall with the fantasy sword. It's bright and colorful. All right, so it seems that that Glier was researching some sort of cataclysm. In fact, if we go back to that, I will make a note of that with a screen snip. Because this is evidence that we have. All right. So, the myth of the cataclysm or the upheaval is one of the oldest tales and is found in nearly every culture. These imagined events occurred, according to some Nordic myths, 3,000 or 4,000 years ago. Other legends, notably told by the Shikastra sect of Tibet, date the world-changing disaster to as recently as 850. Now, we can try and use library and see if that yields other information. It's already 4 to 5 when we're doing this. We can spend another hour and try and research more, and it'll be after 5 o'clock. The university will shut down, but we've already talked to the people we need to talk to, and the library will be open for a bit longer. Since we're already here, I guess we can try and continue researching. So, GMV, will you please type exclamation point 1D100? And if any of you out there, if you don't have a suggestion for a course of action, if you want to roll the percentile dice, just wave. Let me know that you're here, that you're listening, and want to type a chat command and participate. Stops on a 59. Ooh, that is just barely under our library use. All right, let's see what we find out at the library use success. And that was 25, and I will clip this as a clue. All right, Aristotle Milonis, while collecting an undeniably tremendous treasure house of Greek art, has been reluctant to loan or even to show some of the National Museum's most interesting treasures. The Carpathos device, for example, has not been displayed for years. Its loan to other museums is, according to Milonis, unthinkable. Great museums of the modern world. So maybe we were cross-referencing things. We know that he's in Greece, so we're looking up Greek things. So we have some more clues that our friend Tibor is in jail on suspected artifact theft, suspected GMV, that he is researching cataclysmic myths, and that there is a more recent publication called Great Museums of the Modern World, which talks about someone named Aristotle Milonis, while collecting an undeniably tremendous treasure house of Greek art, has been reluctant to loan or even show some of the National Museum's most interesting treasures. The Carpathos device, for example, has not been displayed for years. Its loan to other museums is, according to Milonis, unthinkable. So we have Aristotle Milonis, who apparently is the director of the National Museum of Greece, who is sitting on a treasure trove of artifacts, and he will not let them go. We might have a suspicion as to what got our friend in trouble. So now that it is 5 o'clock, we can wait out. We can go back to our house and wait. We can spend time in the library, just continuing to try and research these clues. Where do we want to go since we're at Miskatonic? I think we're out of our library options. And if we go back to just what the Miskatonic University has to offer, we saw Dr. Martin Fenn and the Dean. So really, we're out of options for Miskatonic. We can go back to our house and wait. We can, I don't know, thematically spend time in the library researching. Presumably, if we didn't collect clues before, we could keep looking around. Or GMV, how dedicated are... All right, you want to break in. All right, well then the arbitrary value that I said that we would have to wait would be 10 p.m. So what we can do is we'll just say that we go back to our house, we wait. Maybe that's how we pack up our bag, and we're, you know, other background stuff is happening. You know, the funds, this floating amount of funds for travel might be made available to us, and we're going to arrive at 10 p.m. at the house, as that is when people should be in bed and asleep, as that is reasonable hours. GMV, this is going to be up to you. So we did try, let's see, off of the bribe, to sneak in later while everyone's sleeping is go to 90. All right. The boarding house is quiet. You creep onto the porch. To try the window, go to 7. To try the door, go to 28. GMV, checking out our character here, Professor Louis Grunwald. Should we try to go in through the window or to go in through the door? The window, you say? Okay. We're going to go to 7. The window opens smoothly and you enter. You try to move as quietly as possible. Attempt a stealth roll. Hi, Kragar. Kragar the Kragarian. I want you to type exclamation point 1D100. We're trying to be sneaky. Our stealth is 20. We need a 20 or below, and Kragar did not achieve that with a 60. We failed. We go to 51. Suddenly, Mrs. Harding appears. Why the idea, she sputters. I'll count to 3, she says, her grip tightening on the shotgun she's pointing in your general direction. And then I'll pull the trigger. 1, 2. You quickly decide to leave. All right, so there is no getting into our friend's room, I suppose, unless we want to try and let's see, 7, 28, 52, 141, 150. Does that leave out? I don't think, I think she's going to shoot next time. Now, I guess that could mean that we could force an encounter. I mean, nothing. Yeah, bang, I shoot her first, says GMV. See, GMV had it right the whole time. You don't ask questions, you just murder your way to the solution. The less people that are in your way, the less questions you have to answer, or the less answers you have to provide to questions. So, though, because we're not running some sort of, mass murder, Professor Louis Grunwald is not that type of person. Now, GMV, if we made a character, if we made you and that is your solution, or you're a rootin' tootin' cowboy, or we made an outlaw, I think absolutely that would be the way forward. Though I think that for the rest of this night, we will not be getting any answers. And I believe I'm going to make the call that Mrs. Harding has had enough of our nonsense. So I don't think that this is going to be an option moving forward. Because we know that she's not going to take bribes. We tried to be social. We tried to bribe her and we tried to break in. I'm considering this off. I'm going to consider that to be off the table. I don't think she's going to be wooed after we broke into her house and we already tried to persuade her otherwise. She also won't accept money. So because it's already, by the time we go back, it's already going to be 11 p.m., I think that we should go to bed and wake up in the morning. I mean, perhaps shooting an innocent boarding house proprietress might work. We also don't have a gun. We have a hunting knife. So you'd have to do it the old-fashioned way and either knock her out or stab her. She's holding a shotgun now that we tried to break in after hours. So there you go. You have knowledge. She doesn't carry a shotgun during the daytime hours. So if any of you are are making a murder run, go to the Harding house during reasonable or respectable hours, and Mrs. Harding will be unarmed, and you can murder her to break into your friend's room for a clue to prove that he is pure and innocent in a Grecian court. There you go, gamers. Chat has figured out the exploits. Also, high survival. All right. Well, we have a free ticket. We have a free ticket to a ticket to ride. So what we can do is we need a minimum of 8 hours of sleep. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hours means that we wake up at 6 a.m. And then we need a breakfast. So we can go to the diner, or if we're going to be away for a while, we should probably eat the last of our Wiener Schnitzel that GMV insists that we have. So we'll have breakfast. I'll make a little sausage on our calendar. We eat breakfast at 7. It is truly a fantasy world. Absolutely, Sierra Echo. And by the way, to see what I'm doing and how I'm tracking this. So there's the sun coming up. There's our breakfast sausage. Now, we know that the train to Baston won't arrive until 9 a.m. So we can go to the train station and then we can simply go to Baston. Because everything is already packed up. We have cash on us. We have our supplies. And it seems that things are taken care of because we forced the dean's hand by threatening to resign. There you go, Schnitzel for Morganessen. To be fair, for a character has to be in bed by 10, they really didn't deserve any clues from her. Our character doesn't, GMV. That is the respectable hours of the boarding house. I made a decision that 10 p.m. is a respectable hour for the boarding house to close. Everyone in the boarding house, which would have been our friend, had to have been in their room sleeping by 10. We, as the professor, can go to bed anytime. So we're at the train station. We get on a train at 9 a.m. It's an hour to Baston. We arrive in Baston at 10 a.m. So let's go to the depot. You may wait for your train. On arrival to Baston, go to 64. There are 2 trains to New York City's Grand Central Station. One leaves at 10 a.m. and arrives at 5 p.m. The other leaves at 4 p.m. and arrives at 10 p.m. Go to 146 upon arrival in New York City. Trains depart for Arkham. Okay, so this is a halfway point. So, as we are in Boston at 10 a.m., one leaves at 10 a.m. All right, that means that we can get to New York. We can just hop trains. We go from the Boston to New York right now. We have our khakis packed, yes. So go to 146 upon arrival to New York City. If arriving in New York City, go to New York location table. All right. It takes an hour, and we by 11 a.m. we are in New York City. Go to the New York location table. So here we go. We are in New York City, and here's our location table. There's, I guess, railways. Oh, by the way, so this is showing that we can call and get information. We don't have to go there. So presumably we can also, like, call the Arkham Advertiser or something. There's the Grand Central Rail Station and Restaurant. Empire General Merchandise. Well, we already have equipment. There's E.S. Willents Booksellers. The Greek Consulate. There's Holt's apartment, who's our friend, who's a big city financier. Although that says accessible only to Lydia Lau, and we're not. Hospital's always open. Hotel with room service. New York Public Library. New York Sun newspaper. On the street food vendors. Taxis. Oh, so it looks like we don't get to fly. So Pier 56 is going to take us by boat. So I suppose we can call. Cunard Lines. We can go to the Greek consulate and ask after this person, perhaps. There's some books, if we want to get some books. What sounds good for the next step in our investigation? Hi, Santiro. We have arrived in New York City, and we're gonna be taking off to go to Athens, Greece soon. We need to go find out why a friend of ours was arrested and accused of stealing artifacts. I'm going to get up and take a quick little break while you all are thinking this over. I will be right back, okay?